Welcome back, guys. It is Interclub Racing once again here at SARCO. This is a SARCO versus On The Limit Community Racing. We're at round 2 and it takes us to the Zhuhai International circuit. SARCO is currently leading the charge into this 2-race event. 8 laps and then a 16-lap race. So sit back and enjoy the highlights of both race 1 and 2. Race number 1 and the starting positions were determined by a 15-minute qualifier. Row number 8 and a newcomer to Team SARCO is Dupi. He's in 16th place and he's alongside Andrew, who makes a comeback here for Team SARCO. Row number 7 and a newcomer to OTL Blitz. He's in 14th place and he's alongside the SARCO veteran Jakes in 13th position. Row number 6, 12th is Colin for Team SARCO, making a return once again. He's alongside a newcomer NJH for OTL. Row number 5 and it is an all OTL affair. Shake and Bake, he's in 10th and he's alongside L111 POD in 9th place. Row number 4 is locked out by SARCO. Marius, he's in 8th place and he's alongside Bruno in 7th. Row number 3 in 6th place, Dano, he is in the team once again for OTL and he's alongside the 5th place driver Dylan, who comes out of the commentary box and joins the team. Row number 2 is White Rider for OTL. He's in 4th place, making a return, and he's alongside Ross, Scottish International for SARCO. Ross is in 3rd place. Row number 1, and it is an all OTL affair, sporting the colours of England. Nick, he's in 2nd place, and he's alongside the pole sitter, and that is a Super F-150 Ford. As we wait for the green lights and off they go, heading down the main straight towards turn number 1. Ross has had a good start coming off the starting lineup. It's to turn 1. Oh, that's contact between Bruno and Dano. That's Shake and Bake and Dylan. Unfortunately, they've gone off. Well, big contact there on the back of Dano as they rejoin the track. So Super Ford leads, Nick is 2nd, Ross 3rd, White Rider is 4th. That means the top 4 have not changed. Colin from SARCO, he moves from 12th position, is now in 5th, and Blitz from 14th, he's up into 6th position. Single foul as Marius, Jakes and Andrew go through turn number 6 and preparing for turn number 7. Hard braking hairpin here. Well, Andrew's put too much power, unfortunately he's spun it around. That's 2 positions, 3 positions, 4, 5 positions. Unfortunately, Andrew is now down in 6th position. Back to the leaders, and it's an OTL 1, 2, SARCO 3, OTL 4. We can have a quick look at what's happening in the positions as we come near the end of lap number 1. Super F-150 Ford, he leads with Nick in 2nd, Ross is 3rd, White Rider is 4th, Colin 5th, Blitz is in 6th, Marius 7th, Jakes 8th, Dano is 9th, Dupi, he's in 10th, having started 16th on the grid. NJH, he's 11th, L111 POD, he's in 12th, Bruno 13, Shake and Bake 14, Dylan 15, and Andrew in 16th place. We chase Blitz as he comes out. Unfortunately, he tags Colin coming out of a turn number 14. That's allowed Marius to get the run on him. Marius, he will move himself past both Blitz as well as Colin going into turn number 1. For a little tag on the back of Blitz there, but no harm done. Blitz chasing Colin coming through this turn number 6. Very congested as the drivers exit out of turn number 2. These 5 drivers separated by 1 second. Morris leads them going into the braking zone here at turn number 4. Well, that's Blitz coming very hot, going around the outside. He'll go off the track, he'll rejoin. He's unfortunately hit Colin. Blitz taking both himself and Colin off the track, coming out of turn number 5. We see Blitz rejoining the track there, sitting in 6th place. He's unfortunately dropped down to 13th position. Nearing the end of lap number 2. Super F-150 Ford, he still leads with Nick in 2nd, Ross is in 3rd, and White Rider starting to put pressure on Ross. as they exit out of turn number 10. Towards this heavy braking point here at turn number 11. See Ross's car bouncing, getting a little unstable on the brakes. White Rider will tuck in behind Ross, get some slipstream as they go through turn number 13. And this very tricky and fast turn number 14. Hold as much as your speed to get that slipstream. It looks like White Rider's been able to get that slipstream over Ross. He takes a move to the inside. You'll squeeze Ross, but Ross still goes for the faster outside line. But White Rider, he still fights back. A little contact between the two drivers as they go through turn number 3, side by side. All that the drivers touch. That's Ross. He's gone off. He's managed to somehow get it back onto the track through turn number 4. Ross, he will hold that battle, exiting out of turn number 5. We go on board with White Rider coming through turn number 6. Will he have a look on the inside here going into turn 7? No, he doesn't. Ross goes a little bit defensive. Ross exits out of 7. He's lost it. He's spun it around. That's allowed White Rider through. It is now a OTL 1, 2 and 3. Here we chase L111 POD as they come through turn number 14. That's Dylan. Oh, he's had a bit of a moment. That's allowed Blitz to get the jump on him. Blitz, he will now move past Dylan as they head into turn number 1. Late on the brakes is Blitz. Dylan has to tuck in behind him. Dylan now loses that position. Blitz goes ahead and now looking to take on Bruno. To the lead drivers we go on lap number 4. It is Super F150 Ford. He leads with Nick in second. White Rider still in third. Morris is fourth. Jakes, he's up to 5th place with Dano in 6th. NJH, he's in 7th. Ross, after his spin, he goes from 3rd. He's in 8th place. Colin, he's in 9th place after a little contact. Bruno, he's in 10th with Blitz in 11th. Dylan is 12th. L111 POD, he's in 13th place. Shake and Bake is 14th. Andrew 15th and Dupi in 16th position. Exiting out of turn number 12, Dano looks like he's got the run on Jakes as they go through the little kink in turn number 13. Jakes will lead Dano in 5th place, Dano in 6th as they come through turn number 14. Looks like Dano has got a much better exit than Jakes as they head down the start-finish straight. Into turn number 1, Dano, he takes the inside line. A little bump there between the two drivers. Jakes, he goes off momentarily, but he carries on going. Starting to get some pressure by another OTL driver. That's NJH starting to put pressure on Jakes as they come into turn number 4. Well, Jakes goes a little bit wide. He has to touch the brakes. Oh, little tag there on the back of Jakes. Exiting out of turn number 5 as they come to turn number 6. Jakes having to fend off 2 drivers. NJH will have a look on the inside, but Jakes shuts the door on him. Another little tag. NJH just touching the back of Jakes coming out of turn number 7. He has a little look on the inside, but Jakes squeezes him. NJH decides to go around the outside. Jakes runs himself wide. NJH, he moves through. Unfortunately, he tags Jakes. Spins Jakes NJH around. That's extremely unfortunate. Fortunately, we see as Jakes rejoins, NJH has already chosen his line, and that puts him into the side of Jakes. Coming to the end of lap number 5, that's Dylan. He's now got the run on NJH. Coming through turn number 13 into number 14. Oh, NJH taps Dylan, pushes him slightly on the grass. That sends Dylan straight into the wall. And that's unfortunately the end of his race. Coming down the main straight, that's Colin. He's now making a move on Shake and Bake. Colin will take that place away from Shake and Bake into turn number 1. All contact between the two drivers, but no damage done. Colin experienced a bit of oversteer. He goes into Shake again. That was Blitz rejoining the track after going off on turn number 2. Run turn 3 into 4 and 5. Oh, there was a bit of contact there between Bruno and Blitz. Unfortunately, Bruno tagging Blitz, going into that braking zone and sending him off. Well, more damage in the background. You saw two of the OTL drivers going into each other, coming out of turn 5. Coming through turn number 14 for the last time for this race. Super F-150 Ford and Nick, they will join together. They will cross the line at the same time. That is a OTL 1-2 in the background there. That's White Rider, followed very closely by Marius. Dano, he will come home in 5th with Ross 6th, Jake 7th, Colin 8th, Blitz 9th, Bruno 10th, L11 POD, he will cross the line in 11th place. Duppy will come home in 12th with Andrew 13th, Shake and Bake 14th, NJH 15th and Dylan in 16th position. With the 8-lap race out of the way, we now head to race number 2 for a 16-lap race. So we go to race number 2, and the starting positions are determined by a 15-minute qualifier. And a disaster already for SARCO. Unfortunately, Andrew and Dylan are disconnecting, with Dylan being 0.04 seconds ahead of Super Ford. Not a very great start to this race. Row number 7 in 14th place for SARCO is Colin, and he's alongside Blitz, who's representing OTL in 13th place. Row 6 is Duppy from SARCO, and he's alongside Shake and Break in 11th from OTL. Row number 9, Jakes from SARCO, he's in 10th, and he's alongside OTL's NJH in 9th position. Row number 4 and in 8th place is L111 POD for On the Limit, and he is next to Marius from SARCO in 7th. Row number 3 and Dano, he's in 6th place for OTL, and he is alongside the 5th placed Ross for SARCO. Row number 2 and Bruno, he moves up in this qualifying heat and he puts himself fourth for SARCO, and he is alongside a White Rider in 3rd, making it a 1-2-3 for On the Limit. Nick, he retains his 2nd place here in qualifier 2 for On the Limit, and he's next to Super F-150 Ford, who once again takes pole here on this race. As we wait for these green lights here at race number 2, green lights and off they go. That's Bruno. He's made a great start coming off the line there. He's managed to pull himself ahead of that White Rider. Going into turn number 1, a little contact between that Dano, White Rider and Ross. There's a bumpers flying. That's come off a White Rider. That's Bruno making a move around the outside of Nick, going into turn number 3. Hard on the brakes into turn 4 and 5. So Super F-150 Ford, he leads. That's Bruno in 2nd. Nick, he's in 3rd place, going around the outside of 6. Bruno allows him enough space. Hard on the brakes here into 7. So Bruno is 2nd and Nick is 3rd. That's Dano, he's in 4th. Ross in 5th. Back to the front of the pack as they go into turn number 9. Ross going through turn number 14 with NJH. Looks like he's be able to get the toe. Ross gives a little bit of indication that he might try and block him, but unfortunately too much speed. NJH will go hard into the braking zone, or Ross almost turned right into him, but manages to correct his line without any problems. To the front of the pack we go once again. Super F-150 Ford, he leads with Bruno in 2nd. That's Naughty Nick, he's in 3rd place, followed by Dano in 4th. NJH has just been overtaken by Marius. Blitz coming through turn number 6 with Marius on his tail. Coming hard into this braking zone at turn number 7. Oh, Blitz has got that completely wrong. That's Marius will go through. NJH will go through. Blitz 9 7th. That's Duppy, he goes past. NJH getting back on the track. He unfortunately loses another 2 positions. 3 positions. So unfortunately NJH dropping from 5th place all the way down into 12th. just in the matter of that one corner. We're having a look on the inside, or contact between the drivers there. Definitely not what was planned. That is very unfortunate for NJH there, having dropped from 5th place all the way down into 13th position. Coming across the line to begin the 3rd lap, Super F150 Ford is still in control of this race with Bruno in 2nd. That's Naughty Nick, he's in 3rd, Dano is in 4th, and Marius in 5th. Very strong performance here by On The Limit. Jump on board with Bruno as he comes into the chicane here at turn 4 and 5. Great exit there by Bruno. Looks like he's managed to get himself into the toe coming through turn number 6. Then into this very trick braking zone. All Super F150 ran himself a little bit wide. That's allowed Bruno to get on the inside as they come through and prepare to go into turn number 8. Bruno will be on the inside, but will be on the outside now going into turn number 9. Hard into the braking zone here at turn number 9. Bruno's going to try and go around the outside, but Super F150, he has the inside line. Bruno has to concede. Naughty Nick is starting to get closer to Bruno. Looks like Morris just drops off the pace slightly there in the background. He was right up in this challenge, but unfortunately probably a couple seconds down. As they go through turn number 13 into this last corner at turn number 14. We'll get a view of the main straight. So Super F150 Ford, he still leads. Bruno is still 2nd. Naughty Nick is in 3rd. Dano 4th. And Morris in the background in that green South African colours. Back down the field, we can have a quick look at these positions. That's Shake and Bake, Ross, Jakes, Duppy, L11POD, NJH, Colin, and White Rider. You can see the pack starting to spread out slightly as we get further and further into this race. We pick up the action on lap number 5 with Bruno having a little look on the outside coming around turn number 8. Well, that's Nick. Unfortunately, he's touched the back of Bruno. That's spun him around, and he's unfortunately now dropped out of this challenge. So we see Super F150 Ford, he now still leads with Bruno in 2nd. Dano, he's now moved up into 3rd with Naughty Nick into 4th. Marius still circulating in 5th. Shake and Bake, he's in 7th. Ross 8th. Jakes is in 9th. Duppy is in 10th. NJH is in 11th place. L111POD in 12th. Colin 13th. And White Rider in 14th. We catch up the action here on lap number 8 of 16. Bruno's got a great run coming out of turn number 10, heading towards turn 11. He moves to the inside, but he does pull out. Well, Super F150 Ford, he runs wide, allowing Bruno to go through. Bruno now takes the lead coming out of turn number 11. See in the background there, that's Naughty Nick starting to make a move there on Dano. Bruno will lead Super F150 Ford through turn number 14. And Bruno will cross the line as the new leader of this race. In the background there, that's Marius still in 5th position, going into turn number 1. Well, Bruno, he's unfortunately oversteered a little bit there. Looked like he was starting to pull a gap, but unfortunately not for him. That's Super F150 Ford right back in this battle, coming into turn number 4 and 5. Moving to the inside, but realizing he's not close enough to make the overtake. Tucking right up behind Bruno, going through turn number 6. Will he have a look on the inside here in 7? No, he does not. Coming to the end of lap number 9 through turn number 14. Super F150 has got a great run coming out of there. Starts moving alongside Bruno as they head down the main straight to start their 10th lap. Here into the braking zone, into turn number 1. Bruno's just squeezing Super there, going into turn 1. Bruno managing to fend off that attack. We can see Naughty Nick, he's starting to catch this battle here for first and second. A little bit of oversteer for Bruno coming out of turn number 5. Will Super F150 have a look around the outside into 6? But that's now left Bruno on the inside into 7. Great defending by Bruno, the SARCO driver, leading this race. And unfortunately behind Bruno, it's a sea of the England colours. Into turn 9, starting to pull a little bit of a gap here from Super F150 forward. End of lap number 10, and Super F150 has got a great run coming out of turn number 14, moves himself to the inside for turn number 1. He'll now have the upper hand going into turn number 1 in the braking zone. Bruno goes a little bit wider and he does the cutback. Manages to take the lead back going through turn number 2. Super F150 Ford attacking right in behind Bruno. This is almost a replica of the lap before. Much quicker exit there by Super F150 Ford. Right up behind Bruno going through turn number 6. Moves to the inside for 7, but opts out. Too much risk involved in that move. As they prepare to go around turn number 8. That's left Bruno on the outside at 8, but on the inside for turn number 9. Great defensive driving there by Bruno. Then the background, that's Dano and Nick getting ever so closer. Hard on the brakes into 11. Oh, it looks like Bruno had just lost a bit of control going into that braking zone, but he's managed to come out ahead. Through turn 14. Big lock up there by Dano coming to turn number 1 and exiting out of 2, loses the rear. Unfortunately, just touching the wall and having a little rub-in with the tires. That's Morris currently in 5th place. Looks like he'll be able to go around the outside. Morris, he now moves himself up into 4th place, and Dano, he moves down to 5th. End of lap number 12 going into turn number 11. There's Super F150 Ford here, unfortunately runs himself off the track. That allows Naughty Nick to move up into 2nd place and start trying his challenge on Bruno. Beginning of lap number 14, we look at the positions. Bruno still leads with Nick in 2nd. Super F150 Ford, he's in 3rd with Morris 4th, Dano's in 5th, Blitz is 6th, Shake and Bake 7th, Ross 8th, Jake's 9th, L11 POD, he's in 10th, Duppy 11th, Colin is 12th, 13 is TC White Rider, and NJH in 14th position. 1.5 laps to go and Bruno still leads with Nick right on his tail coming through turn number 6. Bruno moves to the inside for turn 7. Nick tries to go around the outside but tries the undercut. Nick moves alongside Bruno going into turn number 8, but that will leave Bruno on the inside going into 9. As the sun starts going down here at Zhuhai, the track conditions start changing. Conditions getting a little bit slipperier as the track starts cooling down, start losing some of the grip on the tires. Well, Nick having a little bit of moment coming off that runoff area. Turn number 11 is good for Bruno. He'll be looking to get a good exit out of 12. setting himself up for 14 and try and not let Nick get too close to get that slipstream going down that main straight to start that last lap. Bruno moves to the inside of the track. Looks like Nick's going to have a go around the outside. Into the braking zone, turn number 1. Bruno just cuts off some of the space. Extremely close by these two drivers going through turn number 3. Nick taking a lot more cautious approach going into turn number 4. Will he have a dive down the inside here at turn number 7? Nick still too far away. Bruno will still lead the race going into turn 7. 7 more corners to go. Great shots as the sunset starts shining onto that track into turn 9. Right on Bruno's tail, and Nick tries to get that slipstream as he prepares to go into turn number 11. Looks like Nick is going to try the undercut going into turn 11 here. Bruno goes very wide, manages to get that cut back. Nick right up behind him as they prepare to go to turn number 13. Bruno moving out of the way to try not give Nick any of that slipstream. Extremely close coming through turn number 14. Bruno will cross the line in first place. Nick will finish second. Super F-150 Ford will come home in third. Marius fourth. Dano in 5th, Shake and Bake 6th, Blitz in 7th, Ross 8th, 9 is Jake's, L11 POD, he's in 10th place, Duppy finishes in 11th, Colin 12th, White Rider in 13th, and NJH in 14th. Looking at the point standings, SARCO will score 83 points versus 139 for On The Limit, and in race 2, SARCO scores 91 points versus 128, giving the event total to 174 for SARCO and 267 for On The Limit. With SARCO now losing their lead going into this event, SARCO now on a total of 425 versus On The Limit at 460. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like and subscribe, and catch our next race on the 15th of July. Thanks for watching, yos.